Hello everybody, it's SHAZIZZ here. I'm not in my mad science laboratory, as you can tell. I'm doing some work over there, so until I get it ready to start shooting video in again, then I'm using my computer room / my son's room. Alrighty then. Basically what this video is about, and I'm sure that I'll catch a lot of grief over this. There's a whole lot more power potential in just a simple 9-volt battery than most people think about. And so with that said, I'm revisiting the bug zapper fly swatter / Tesla coil setup. I'm naming this video Power Plant, and I'll explain why here in a minute. That's 9.27 volts on that battery, and looks like 9.36 on that battery. So those are the two highest. And let me see here. 7.80. Looks like 8 volts. And looks like 8.13 or 14. Alright, they're in the lowest to the highest. Alrighty then. So what we got going on here is essentially we're revisiting the bug zapper fly swatter circuit. In this one here, I said before, I got 4 extra 500 volt capacitors in there so that whenever I charge this thing up, I can turn the bugs to dust. I hope you got a chance to see that. I'll do it one more time just to see. Sometimes if you hold this on too long, it'll go ahead and discharge itself. Just jump across that spark gap. Anyway, the circuit that's being used in this one right here is this little circuit right down here. Ah, too much light. Alright, now you can see on there I've got a larger transistor than normally comes out with this particular deal, because I burn out the little transistor trying to run it on 9 volts when this one here was a 3-volt system and I run the 9 volts with. So with that said, I had to put a larger transistor, and I don't know the numbers on there, but sure you can figure one out that'll work for you. Alright, let me see if I can get that straight again. Alrighty then, so try to speed this thing up here. Everybody's familiar with the Slayer exciter, and these coils right here are complimentary of Ryan and my friend Cultus. Ryan made them for Cultus, and Cultus left them over here, and I'm using them like he told me I could. So there we go. These are Ryan's coils. They're really beautiful coils. He does awesome work. Anyway, and then he also made this one right here that I got from him. So, reason why I call this video Power Plant, if I can get it to work. Let me see here. That's a 7-volt one. Alright, I might have to just jump right up to the stronger 9-volt. We're all into wireless energy transmission, and I've been trying to point out that there is a definite difference in energy waves that we call electricity. You notice when I just put my finger on there, you can see that by just grounding that battery, that it increases the wireless energy potential on there. And this is a 9-volt battery. And it's setting, I don't know, approximately 6 inches away over there. Let me see if I can move it away a little bit farther. And so I just moved it just a little bit farther. I ain't got no more table, but anyway, there you see there's a good wireless energy transmission going on there. So let's shut this one down for a second, and we will move over to the next one. Also, I have a few other wireless energy circuits I'll throw in there when I get everything up and going. But you seen that energy was coming off of the Swatter exciter over to that right there. This coil here is just one I made to test wireless energy, but that coil down there was in the last video. I don't know if you can see that. Doggone it. I'm trying to speed this up so I don't make it so long of a video. Anyway, as I explained in the last video, the primary is inside this. It's basically an inside-out Tesla coil, and there was absolutely no measurements done, and I do that intentionally for a reason. And you'll figure that out pretty soon when I get everything situated. Alrighty. So now let's go back to our bug zapper fly swatter circuit. Pretty interesting little circuit. I'm going to start off with, I think that was the lowest battery there on that side. I'll start off with the lowest battery and go ahead and hit that up. Now you'll notice that with the lowest battery, it's already beginning to light up the fluorescent bulb there. Not a whole lot, but if you look up there, you'll notice it lights up even more. Alright, so what's going on here then? Then we got two separate coils being run off of this center coil, off of this bug zapper fly swatter, and there are absolutely no earth grounds connected to it anywhere. And so the power potential in there seems to be pretty impressive as far as I'm concerned. Alright, I failed to mention last time in the last video, in case you hadn't seen my last video about this, there are 2 reed switches that are being used as spark gaps. I need to put some light on that. Alright, there's 2 reed switches down there that are being used for spark gaps. And the bug zapper fly swatter circuit is what's driving everything there so far. Alright, now I'll go up to just a little bit more voltage. I'd like to go back to see what it was I said they were begin with. And you notice it got just a little bit brighter. And let's see here. Alright, let's just leave it there. Ah! Yikes. Ouch. Alright. Let's step our voltage up a little more. You'll notice that the power is increasing yet more. Alright, so now I want a whole full 9 volts going into either one of those. Let's see what happens when I put a full 9 volt battery on this system. You see that? I know you probably can't see those arcs coming off of that. And I don't dare get my camera too... Ow! I don't dare get my camera too close to that thing. But if you notice right there, see it? Well, I guess you can't see that. Right in there, there's a little LED. This is actually lighting up from the inside of that as well, but it's not draining the system down any. Just out of curiosity, what happens if we hook this Slayer exciter up at the same time? Do-do-do-do-do. Yeehaw! So now we got two separate frequencies running simultaneously with one another. Doing a pretty good job, I might add. Ta-da! Huh. Alrighty. All of that with 9 volts. Two separate 9-volt batteries. Let's take and move and swap that battery out and see if this battery is any stronger. Hear that baby crackle? And you stick your finger up there. Yeah! I don't know if you can see that. And then try to get my camera up in there. Ah! Ah! I don't know if you can see that. Ow! Taking it for the science team. Alright, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you understand what it is that I'm trying to explain to you. It all makes sense as soon as I get done. But simply by taking a primary coil, a few windings around there, and a layer of thin wire, magnet wire across there, and a fast acting switch such as a transistor, you're able to amplify that energy. There's the mystery of the Slayer exciter. It goes back to Tesla flipping the knife switch over and over and over again. And the Tesla coils with the top load would be more like something like that there that you've all seen plenty of times before. Builds up that charge and basically gets a whole bunch of energy stored up on that thing right there, and then eventually it will interact with the atmosphere and break out and look all exciting and everything. But since I'm just in it for the wireless energy and the frequency knowledge to do what it is I plan on doing, then I don't want all that breakout. But you saw right there with that bug zapper that I could actually get enough charge up there to jump across to my finger, and all of that was with just a 9-volt battery. And essentially without an earth ground, I took this inside out Tesla coil, which is the primary inside, and the windings of the primary, some thick gauge wire like you see right there, and multi-strand, and it almost fills up the entirety of that tube on another smaller tube, and that is the primary in there. And then you can see the number of windings on there. I didn't even measure it. I just started from one end and started wrapping it, and I did all that for a purpose, and I'll explain that in a future video. Whenever you see what it is that I'm talking about, you'll understand. But in the meantime, without no earth ground, just with this circuit alone, you've seen that I could take this coil right here, energize it, and then send a single wire across to this coil right here and a single wire across to that coil right there, and basically energize that enough to shoot a spark across to my finger and light that bulb up right there. The Slayer exciter capable of sending wireless energy from one coil to the next. Basically all these acting like antennas, transmitters and receivers. And this circuit right here, while on a different frequency than that circuit, in all actuality would be classified a little bit different type of energy. This has a lot of capability, and that has a lot of capability. You can run the two simultaneously, side by side with each other, without even interacting with each other. And when it's all said and done, and you see what it is that I'm trying to show you, it'll all make sense, and I think you'll be happy about it. Anyway, with that said, I'll go ahead and shut this video down. But that's the little power plant right there. Using this right here, think about all that, and think about scale up, scale down models, and maybe you'll see what it is that I see. And if you go back and look at some of my previous videos of little hints and clues that I put in there, you'll understand what it is that I'm talking about. When it's all said and done, I believe you'll be more than satisfied with my work. So anyway, peace and love, everybody. Take care. Okay, another short addendum. I forgot to add in these circuits I'm talking about. It's just a little cheapo circuit with some germanium diodes, and you'll notice that once you get it next to the Slayer exciter, that it'll start up. This circuit right here is another one. Later on I'll get, you can see that one's already starting because I had a ground on it. I will get, yeah, that one there has to be grounded. Yeah, get my arm out of the way. Notice that it's grounded with my finger. This one here shouldn't have to be grounded. And this one right here, I better show that on there a little bit better. Same thing, couple germanium diodes, a coil, and a core in there. And this one right here, pretty much the same thing. And you can actually speed the charging up by grounding that one. Let me do that over here. Once that starts to charge up, and last but not least, this one right here. As you can see, we'll start charging up. And it's in the general vicinity. Let's put them right there. Anyway, hopefully you can see all those up and running. And what you should notice here is that the two energies aren't interfering with each other in any way. Where this circuit will light up with that frequency right there, it doesn't want to do very good with that one over there. So that would show that I can actually run two different frequencies side by side without interfering with one another. Hopefully this isn't frying my camera out. Notice that that light on that one over there is still blinking. So that fluorescent bulb over there is being energized by 2 separate frequencies. And you can really seriously smell 2 different brands of ozone in here. Alright, well, hopefully this isn't messing my camera and the voice up on there, so I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Just stay tuned. You're going to like it whenever you see what it is that I'm trying to show you. Peace and love, everybody.